starter Terry Coletti. Assistant Tommy Kale. Scorer Gary Smith. Assistant announcer and scorer Matthew Helms. Driver mediator Bill Heil and Chuck Barrett. The lineup guy Donnie Staley. Tech officials Dave Hoopengarner, Roger Leinard, and Blaine Salisbury. Spotter Bill Ditto. Pit announcer Bob Dematio. The tire and fuel guy Ben Nicholas. Craig Mishler, Howard Holt, and Zach Downing of Mid-Vid Racing Videos. And track photographer BP Photography. And of course, track owners and promoters John and Kelly Chapman. I'm your announcer, Chris Kale, and welcome to day number 2 of the Canton Auto Salvage Fall Classic here at Thunder in the Valley. We ask all veterans, active duty military, and frontline workers to please stand. Active duty military, veterans, and frontline workers, please stand for a round of applause. Thank you for serving our country and our communities. We are blessed to live in the greatest country on earth. Would you please honor our nation? And if you're able to stand, please do so. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for today's invocation and the playing of our national anthem. For today's invocation, Hall of Famer Craig Mishler.
Before we pray, longtime racer here at Midvale Speedway, Kels Thomas, passed away last week. His ashes are going to take one last time around the track. They are Randy Gray's number 27. So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we do thank you for an opportunity to be here today. We ask you to watch over us and guide and direct us. Please keep the drivers safe as they perform for us. We ask you to be with all the track personnel and the infield crew as they do their work today. We thank you for all your blessings, and we thank you for watching over us and keeping us safe. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Once again, presenting today's colors, Honky John Tannerelli in the 67, Randy Gray in the 27 with Kels Thomas's ashes, and the Thomas family behind. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a big round of applause for Honky John Tannerelli, Randy Gray, Kels Thomas, and the Kels Thomas family. How about a big round of applause? Our thoughts and prayers with Terry and Kels's kids. Of course, Shannon and Keith, Porkchop, longtime competitors here at Midvale Speedway. Michelle, always here to cheer on her brothers. So we appreciate all of them, all the grandchildren. Our thoughts and prayers with the Thomas family. We love you guys, your family here. Thank you guys for being here this afternoon. Van Meter's Auto Repair, Snap-on Tools by Doug Poole, Canton Addiction Services, Knack Tuning, Performance Towing, BP Photography, 99.9 WTUZ Radio, Federated Auto Parts, and of course Mid-Vid Racing Videos. Mid-Vid Racing Videos, 4 different views tonight. $15 for both days. That includes shipping. It should be out this week, early in the week. So make sure you stop up and see Craig Mishler. So the open modified field on the Speedway. Going to give them a couple laps to get some heat in their tires. Out front, Mark Stryker, 2-time modified champion at Midvale Speedway. Hasn't raced in 20 years. Will start on the pole. The number 12 of Bubba Smith, multi-time late model champion at Midvale Speedway, will start alongside. Kenny Sharp in the 11. The 5 of Kyle Warner. The 38 of Sean Lewis, the 24 of Nick Grubbs, the 7 is Corey Beatty, the 17 is John White. Here and there, he'll start on the pole. Bubba Smith, the 11 of Kenny Sharp, the 331 of your crate modified champion Mike Stone will start in the 4th spot. the 5 of Kyle Warner, the 38. The 38 of Sean Lewis, the 24 of Nick Grubbs, the 64 of Brandon Lemmerman, the 7 is Corey Beatty, the 17 of John White, and the 99 of Brady McLean. 15 lap consi. To the feature, it is 12:30 on the dot, Midvale Speedway, starting exactly on time. Mark Stryker, Bubba Smith, green flag. Bubba Smith and Stryker, a little bit of contact on the opening lap. Bubba Smith going to race out to the lead. Lap number 1, Bubba Smith will lead. Stryker in second. Sharp third. Kyle Warner to the inside of Mike Stone for 4th. Stone in 5th. Lewis in 6th. The top 6 transfer. 2 laps complete. Bubba Smith continues to lead. Mark Stryker in second. Kenny Sharp third. Kyle Warner fourth. Mike Stone fifth. Sean Lewis sixth. Those are the top 6 that will transfer right now. Looking at Nick Grubbs in that 7th spot. Corey Beatty 8th. The 64 of Brandon Lemmerman, the 17 of John White, the 42 of Brady McLean on the outside looking in. Grubbs all over the back of Lewis for the transfer spot. Bubba Smith yesterday, not his usual qualifying run here at Midvale Speedway. Marred back in close to 20th, I believe. And we've got a caution on the front straightaway. John White, Brandon Lemmerman. Caution on the speedway. Six laps complete, 6 in. John White with some damage to the right rear quarter panel. 6 laps complete of 15 here in the consi. Again, the top 6 transfer. Getting ready to go back to green. Bubba Smith, Mark Stryker on the front row. Top 6 transfer. Green flag in the air. Mark Stryker got way up the racetrack. That's going to allow Kenny Sharp to get through on the bottom. Stryker going to drop back to that 3rd spot. Here comes Kyle Warner in the 5. Warner in the 5 up to 3rd now to the inside of Stryker. Stryker dropping back in the outside lane, now back to the 4th position. Here comes Mike Stone. Stone looking to the inside of Stryker now for 5th. Mark Stryker going to try and settle back in that 4th spot. Going to try and get back to the bottom. Contact between Mike Stone and Mark Stryker. And now the 24 of Grubbs, the 7 of Beatty involved. Family in that 3rd spot. Mike Stone, your crate modified champion here at Midvale Speedway. Sean Lewis and the 24 of Nick Grubbs in those transfer spots. 8 laps in, green flag in the air. Caution on the speedway. 7 to go. The 12 of Bubba Smith, the 11 of Kenny Sharp, the 5 of Warner, the 331 of Stone. Green flag back in the air. Nick Grubbs, problems dropping in that 24 machine. He cost Mark Stryker a lot of positions there. Tough break for Nick Grubbs and Mark Stryker. So right now, Brandon Lemmerman in that transfer position in the 64. Bubba Smith, Kenny Sharp, Kyle Warner, Mike Stone, Sean Lewis, Brandon Lemmerman, your top 6. That battle for the transfer spot between Lemmerman, White, Stryker, and Grubbs. White flag for Bubba Smith, Kenny Sharp, Kyle Warner, Mike Stone, Sean Lewis, and Brandon Lemmerman. John White all over the back of that 64 of Lemmerman, trying to get into the transfer spot. Checkered flag for Bubba Smith. Here's the battle in the 64 of Lemmerman. We'll get the final transfer spot as Nick Grubbs and Mark Stryker spin in turn number 4. Good battle between Lemmerman and John White. So Bubba Smith, Kenny Sharp, Kyle Warner, Mike Stone, Sean Lewis, Brandon Lemmerman will transfer to the A main in just a little bit. And your winner of the Open Modified Consi from North Canton, Ohio, in the Finish Line Designs, Freedom Auto Finance, Smith's Auto Sales, Canton Auto Salvage, sponsor number 12, Bubba Smith. And the number 6 will start on the pole. The 57 is A.P. Wren in the John W. Cookson Drivetrain, sponsored 57. The number 25 is Chris Grubbs, rather. The 48 is Jonathan Ritter. Jonathan Ritter, the Molnar Flying Hillbilly, will start outside row number 2. The 22 is the code man, Cody Jayberg. The 83 is R.J. White. The 90 is Emerson Hoffman. The 0 is George Riddle. Your fastest qualifier, the 18 of Brandon Short. The 169 of Matt Gribble. The 88 of Tony Urdiles. The 69 of Bob the Animal Eichel. Actually, it is Bob Snyder Jr. Okay, turn number 3, on your feet. Wave lap time here at Midvale Speedway. You, the fans, wanted it. We're giving what you want. Stand up, cheer on your drivers, wave them off for the final time in 2020, your McIntosh Oil Company late model field. So behind Bob Snyder Jr. in the 69 is the 01 of Bob Gaynor. The 07 is Josh Kempf, and the 3 being driven by Bob the Animal Eichel. So Larry Baker, A.P. Wren on the front row. Chris Monar's Flying Hillbilly in row 2. Cody Jayberg, R.J. White in row 3. Emerson Huffman, George Riddle, Brandon Short, and Matt Gribble getting ready to go green. 40 lap McIntosh Oil Company late model feature is green. Caution on the speedway. The 57 of AP Wren being warned on the radio to stay up alongside the 6 of Larry Baker. Field will get the 1 to go signal. They'll try it again. Green flag in the air, Baker and Wren. Caution on the speedway. On the pole, the 25 of Grubbs, the 48 of Ritter. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Third time's the charm. Green flag in the air. AP Wren did get his car to settle down a little bit. He goes to the race lead. Emerson Huffman and George Riddle make some contact in turn number 1. Caution on the speedway. AP Wren, your race leader. The Mountain State Missile, Jonathan Ritter, running in second. Getting ready to go green, and AP Wren and the 48 of Jonathan Ritter. Off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Jonathan Ritter, Monar's flying hillbilly, rockets out front like the missile that he is. Jonathan Ritter to the front in the 48. Outside, Chris Grubbs to second. R.J. White trying to get around Larry Baker for the 4th spot. Good racing in the middle of the pack is Jonathan Ritter getting out front, hoping for no caution. Starting to pick his way through the field as well. He is on the outside of Larry Baker. He'll move up to the 5th spot. R.J. White goes to the outside of AP Wren and slipped up a little bit. That allows the 18 of Brandon Short to get alongside. Short now being stuck between Wren and White. The 48 of Ritter about a half a straightaway lead over the 25 of Grubbs. About a full straightaway over AP Wren, R.J. White, and the 18 of Short. Able to get around AP Wren in the 57. R.J. White up to the 3rd spot, the 18 of Short, and now the 88 of Tony Niles into the wall in turn 3. Tony Niles making contact with the wall in turn number 3. Come back to green. Jonathan Ritter, Chris Grubbs on the front row. Matt Gribble pulls to the infield. Green flag in the air. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Ritter and Grubbs. RJ White trying to get to the inside of Grubbs for that second spot. Grubbs is able to hang on. That's going to bring Brandon Short to the outside of RJ White in third. AP Wren losing a couple spots on the inside lane. Cody Jaber and zero George Riddle get around AP Wren, moving them up into the top six. AP back to seventh. RJ White in fourth. Jaber looking for him now. Is the 18 of Short, 25 of Grubbs battle for second behind race leader Jonathan Ritter. Field getting ready to come back to green flag racing. 11 laps complete. Monarchs Flying Hillbilly up front. Green flag back in the air. Brandon Short up to the second spot now behind Ritter. Grubbs back to third. Riddle Short. RJ White fifth. Bogdan sixth. On the front row, the 25 of Grubbs, the 83 of White, the 01 of Gaynor, the 22 of Jaber. Green flag in the air. Something happened to the 18 of Brandon Short. Problems for Brandon Short in the 18. On the front row, AP Wren, Cody Jaberg in row 2. Riddle and Baker in row 3. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Green's in the air. Ritter back out front. The 25 of Grubbs in second. Jaberg going to move up to the third spot on AP Wren. Jonathan Ritter, Chris Grubbs, Cody Jaybird, George Riddle, your top 4. AP Wren in the 5th spot. Larry Baker 6th. Josh Kemp, R.J. White, Bob Snyder Jr., and Bob the Animal Eichel. The 3 of green flag back in the air, Ritter and Jaybird. Chris Grubbs back to the inside of Cody Jaybird for that 2nd spot. Cody Jaybird right there on the rear deck lid of Jonathan Ritter, just past the halfway mark. 23 laps complete. George Riddle trying to get around the 25 of Chris Grubbs for the 3rd spot. Still the battle up front between Ritter and Jaybird. Laps to go, 10 to go for Jonathan Ritter and Cody Jaybird. They have a full straightaway lead over Chris Grubbs and George Riddle. EP Wren and R.J. White who battle for the 3rd through 6th positions. For Ritter and Jaybird. Will lap traffic become a factor? It's a 0 of Riddle to the inside of Chris Grubbs for 3rd. Ritter and Jayberg continue the battle for the lead. 2 laps to go. White flag for Jonathan Ritter and Cody Jayberg. Jayberg going to take a shot to the inside, not able to get there. Final time down the back straightaway. Jayberg a little bit loose off of turn number 2. First checkered flag for Molnar Racing. Jonathan Ritter wins the Fall Classic at Midvale Speedway. Cody Jayberg finishes second, George Riddle third, AP Wren fourth. George Riddle, and in fourth was the 25 of Chris Grubbs. Then AP Wren, RJ White, Larry Baker. The first victory. First feature win for Molnar Family Racing. He was called Molnar's Flying Hillbilly. Gene Molnar said that he couldn't go back to the Mountain State Missile until he won a feature. Jonathan Ritter giving the Molnar family their first feature victory in the 48. Jonathan Ritter, your winner of the Fall Classic. Pulling in to Knack Tuning, Victory Lane for the first time in this number 48 machine. Molnar Family Racing's first feature win in the Mountain State Missile delivers. Getting the belts undone, getting ready to climb out. Mountain State Missile, your feature winner, Jonathan Ritter. Sponsors on that number 48, Ken's Auto Service Center, Smith's Auto Sales, Molnar Family Racing. The Mountain State Missile, congratulations, buddy. Give him a round of applause. First feature win in a number of years for Ritter. The first feature win for Molnar Family Racing. No longer Molnar's Flying Hillbilly. He is the Mountain State Missile. Lap time at Midvale Speedway for the final time for your open modifieds in 2020. Wave them off, folks. Starting on the pole, the 51 is Rick Elkins Jr. The 57 is Tyler Knuckles. Row number 2, the 32 of Norm Taylor. The 28 is Scott Archer. Number 3, Kenneth Price into 33. The 21 is Bryce Allensworth. The 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. Your fastest qualifier, the 31 of Doug Meyer. The 00 is Todd Ripley. The 67 of Bob Page. The 32 of Brian Wetnall. The 14 of Doug Mate. The 86 of Zach Miller. The 0 of Lucas Ripley. The 60 is Sam Bingham. The 10 of Nathan Embry. 40 laps getting ready to go green. Open modified feature is green. Brian Wetnall spins off of turn number 4. Bubba Smith, the 11 of Kenny Sharp, the 5 of Kyle Warner, the 38 of Sean Lewis, the 331 of Mike Stone, and the 64 of Brandon Lemmerman. Again, 50-50 tickets being sold by the Tuscarawas County Special Olympics. Make sure you grab your 50-50 tickets this afternoon. 1 lap to go. 40-lap open modified feature. Rick Elkins Jr., Tyler Knuckles on the front row. Storm and Norm Taylor, Hollywood Scott Archer in row 2. Kenneth Price, Bryce Allensworth in row 3. Green flag in the air. Elkin's going to have the race lead, and here comes Knuckles battling back on the outside. Lap number 1 to Tyler Knuckles. Knuckles going to clear to the bottom. He will have the race lead. Elkins back to second. Archer and Norm Taylor battle for the 3rd spot. Archer sideways. He's going to get up the spot. Taylor into the 21 of Allensworth. Zach Miller down towards the infield on the front straightaway. Taylor to the outside of Elkins for the 2nd spot. Tyler Knuckles starting to check out a little bit. Now contact between Norm Taylor and the 51 of Elkins in turn number 1. Caution. Four laps complete. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Knuckles and Allensworth. Scott Archer to the inside of Bryce Allensworth for that 2nd spot. Knuckles still your race leader out front. To the inside of Kenneth Price for the 5th spot behind Doug Meyer. Meyer up to 4th. Scott Archer 2nd now. Allensworth 3rd. Meyer 4th. Ripley 5th. Price back to 6th. And here comes Lucas Ripley to the inside of Price for that 6th spot. Tyler Knuckles, your race leader in the 57. Lucas Ripley got into his dad Todd a little bit in turns 3 and 4, moved him up the racetrack, moved Lucas Ripley up into the 4th position, or 5th position rather, caution on the speedway. Nathan McCauley in the 17, slow in turns 1 and 2. Getting ready to come into turn 3 for the restart. Green flag in the air, Knuckles and Archer. Archer going to dive back down in front of Allensworth, but here comes Bryce Allensworth. Allensworth to 2nd. Todd Ripley, or Lucas Ripley rather, a little bit of contact to the 28 of Archer, snagging up the field just a little bit. Archer hangs on to that 3rd spot. Lucas Ripley to the inside of Doug Meyer for 4th. needed to be. Bryce Allensworth, Tyler Knuckles side by side for the race, leading into turn number 3. Lucas Ripley and Scott Archer battle for that third spot. Knuckles going to have the race lead. Allensworth a little squirrely heading into turn number 1. He'll maintain the second spot behind Knuckles. Here comes the 0 of Ripley. Still outside of Archer in the 28. Sam Bingham, Bob Page, row 5, then Zach Miller, Doug Mate, Mike Stone, Rick Elkins, Sean Lewis, Brandon Lemmerman, and Kenneth Price. Getting ready to go back to green. So we'll try it again, 13 laps complete, Knuckles and Allensworth. Mike Stone with a bad tire rub back in the field. Tyler Knuckles still your race leader. Allensworth, Ripley, Sibla, Archer, Meyer. Todd Ripley going to pull off in the 0-0. Todd Ripley out in the 0-0. The 67 of Bob Page pulls pit side. Halfway home, 20 in, 20 to go for Tyler Knuckles. lead over Bryce Allensworth. Lucas Ripley, Bob Sibla Jr., Scott Archer, your top 5. Doug Meyer runs 6th, and Nathan Embry, the 60 of Sam Bingham, the 86 of Zach Miller, the 12 of Bubba Smith. Knuckles getting around Brandon Lemmerman. Lap traffic for the race leader, Tyler Knuckles. 8 laps to go. For Tyler Knuckles, Bryce Allensworth, Lucas Ripley, Bob Sibla Jr., and Scott Archer. Getting ready to go. So Bryce Allensworth being warned on the radio for jumping the restart in turn number 3. Both drivers being told side by side in turn 4. So that incident down in turn 1 all started with Zach Miller in the 86, who has a right front wheel. So we'll get it again. We'll try it again, I should say. 4 laps to go. 36 in, 4 to go. Knuckles and Allensworth. Tyler Knuckles out to the race lead. Here comes Lucas Ripley to second. Allensworth back to third. He'll go and drop in front of Scott Archer, who battles with Bob Sibley Jr. for the 4th spot. Knuckles, Ripley. Oh, Ripley to the inside as Allensworth spins in turn number 2. Fifth, Doug Meyer 6th, Nathan Embry 7th. Good run by Bubba Smith up to 8th. Getting ready to go back to green. Knuckles and Ripley. Green flag in the air. Tyler Knuckles and Lucas Ripley, a little bit of contact on the start. Knuckles going to have the race lead into turn number 1. Lucas Ripley. Here comes Allensworth back to the inside. Good move by Bryce Allensworth to the inside of Lucas Ripley. White flag for Tyler Knuckles. Through 3 and 4, your winner, Tyler Knuckles. Lucas Ripley will finish second, Bryce Allensworth third, Bob Sibla Jr. in 4th, Sam Bingham in 5th. With the big burnout on the front straightaway. From Canal Winchester, Ohio, Tyler Knuckles in the 57, your open modified feature winner of the Fall Classic at 2020. Getting ready to climb out of that number 57, the Eco Men. Sponsored number 57, your open modified feature winner in NAC tuning, Tyler Knuckles. Tyler Knuckles, the trophy is coming, Tyler. Congratulations on a hard-fought feature victory of the Fall Classic here at Midvale Speedway in 2020. Once again, a big round of applause. Tyler Knuckles, your open modified feature winner. Open compact feature, the fast feature of the open compacts on the Speedway. Going to do a wave lap in turn number 3. Mike Stuber, Don Rufner Jr. on the front row. Dan Bucky in his final race behind the wheel of a compact. Former champion here at Midvale Speedway takes his final feature. Compact drivers. Come on, front straightaway. Stand up and salute your field. Mike Stuber, his final ride. He'll turn that number 44 over to his daughter, Tabby Stuber, next year. He'll start on the pole. Don Rufner Jr. alongside Kenny Feaster Jr., the 19 of Eugene Kopp, the 22 of Katie Wood, the 16 of Justin Renneker, the 45 of Timmy Kaup, the 47 of Eric Johnson, the 9 of Gavin Roop, the 64 of Jamie Leslie, the 19 of Oliver. Green flag in the air. Brett Trevor in the 24 of Lynn Bacon in the 57. The 78 is Eric Feaster in the 007 of DR3. Lap number 1 to Stuber. He's going to scoot out to the race lead, but here comes Kenny Feaster Jr. Feaster to the outside for the race lead. 3 wide on the front straightaway. Jamie Leslie spins 47 of Eric Johnson, the 9 of Gavin Roop, the 19 of Clayton Oliver, the 24 of Brent Schreffler, the 57 of Blaze Bacon, the 007 of Don Rufner III, the 78 of Eric Feaster, and the 64 of Leslie. Getting ready to come back to green flag racing, Stuber and Feaster. Kenny Feaster Jr., your race leader. Eugene Kopp to the infield in the 19. On the speedway. Caution on the speedway. So we'll try it again, Feaster and Stuber. Green flag in the air. Feaster, Timmy Kalp, and Jamie Leslie getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Here comes Clayton Oliver back onto the speedway, green flag in the air. Front, Mike Stuber second, Don Rufner Jr. third, Justin Renneker, and now here comes Katie Wood on the outside. Wood up to the fourth spot. Renneker and her side by side for the fourth and fifth spot. Renneker takes over the fourth spot. Here comes Brent Schreffler for fifth on Katie Wood. Schreffler now up to fifth. The fastest qualifier on the move. Goes to the outside lane for fourth on Renneker. Schreffler on the move in the high lane. And now Katie Wood and Eugene Kopp get together in turn four. Caution on the speedway. And Stuber. Green flag in the air. Rufner Jr. to the inside of Mike Stuber. Here comes Schreffler. Split in the middle, three wide. Blaze Bacon trying a three wide move. Got into the 44 of Stuber and hard into the wall on the front straightaway. Eleven laps complete. Kenny Feaster Jr. and Mike Stuber. Green flag. Stuber still there in the outside lane. Don Rufner Jr. on the bottom. Schreffler looking to go three wide. Got better of it. Feaster in front. Schreffler all over the back of that 44. Stuber. Here comes Brent Schreffler on the outside around Mike Stuber for second. laps to go for Kenny Feaster Jr. and Brent Schreffler. Schreffler trying to run Feaster down. Stuber trying to hang on to that third spot in front of Renneker and Don Rufner Jr. Feaster and Schreffler nose to tail. About a half a straightaway ahead of the field. Brent Schreffler to the outside of Kenny Feaster Jr. for the race lead, coming to the white flag. Feaster on the bottom, Schreffler on the top, white flag in the air. Okay, the lineup correct. Trying to get Kenny Feaster Jr. to the outside of the 24, Brent Schreffler. So the green and white coming out together. One lap dash for the cash in the open compact A main. Schreffler, Feaster, Stuber, and Rufner Jr. The front four getting ready to go. Green for one final time. Green in the air. Now $1 a can. Beer at the beverage bar now $1 a can. Green and white going to come out as soon as we get the field lined up and get Kenny Feaster Jr. to the tail of the field. Field gets the one to go signal. Mike Stuber, your race leader. Don Rufner Jr. alongside green and white going to come out at the same time. Justin Renneker in the 16 in third. Don Rufner the third, fourth. Then the 64 Jamie Leslie. The 47 of Eric Johnson. The 78 Eric Feaster. Green flag back in the air with the white. Stuber on the bottom. Here comes Rufner Jr. on the high side. To the line. Don Rufner Jr., your winner by a nose. Don Rufner Jr. by a foot. Kyle Grove. The 28 is Bernie Minnick. The number 1 is Bryant Smith. The 22 of Kylie Wood. The 75 is Joe Quinn. The 303 is Tad Grove. The 55 is Kyler Bertram. The 12 of Jeff Kuykendall. The 101 of Billy Roberts. The 47 of Josh Caranci. The 00 of Greg Bernard Jr. The 88, your fastest qualifier, Dennis Wood. The 99 of Jason Gruhl. The 67 of Lucas Ripley. The 25 of Josh Way. The 77 of Brett Dolan. The 25 of Bill Kramer. The 03 of Matt Wilson. The 118 of Colt Locker. The 58 of Zach Koger. The 44 of Brandon Donnelly. The 13 of Matt Gribble Jr. And the 83 is John Ambrose. Final time in 2020. Kyle Grove, Bernie Minnick on the front row. Let's send off your open street stock field. Lap open street stock feature. Getting ready to go. Green, Kyle Grove, Bernie Minnick on the front. Green. Green flag off of 4. Kyle Grove with the race lead into turn number 3. Here comes Bryant Smith to the inside of Minnick for the for second. Kyle Grove, Bernie Minnick, Bryant Smith, Joe Quinn, Kylie Wood, your top 5. Jeff Kuykendall on the outside of Kyler Bertram, and here comes Bryant Smith. Minnick sideways off of turn number 2. Bryant Smith to the inside, Kyle Grove shooting away in the race lead. The 28 way up the racetrack again. Here comes Bryant Smith for second. Joe Quinn to the inside of Minnick for third. Kylie Wood, Jeff Kuykendall right there. Kyle Grove with about a half a straightaway lead. Caution on the speedway, the 12 of Jeff Kuykendall spins off of turn number 2. Getting ready to go back to green, Kyle Grove, Bryant Smith, 6 laps complete. Open street stock feature. Green flag in the air. Second, Bernie Minnick in third, Joe Quinn fourth. Kyle Grove. Looks like he lost a possible radiator hose off of that number 3 machine. Your race leader. Tough break for Kyle Grove. And Billy Roberts in row 3. 9 in. 21 to go. Smith. And Bernie Minnick. Green flag back in the air. Bryant Smith, your race leader. Here comes Joe Quinn, 75 for second. Kuykendall going to follow him through to third. Joe Quinn, Jeff Kuykendall, Dennis Wood, Josh Wade, behind race leader Bryant Smith. 15 laps in, 15 to go. Here comes Kuykendall, looking to the inside of Joe Quinn for second. Dennis Wood up to third. Quinn back to fourth. Here comes the 25 of Josh Way. Matt Gribble in the 13 spins in turn 4. To green, 17 laps complete. Bryant Smith, Jeff Kuykendall in the front row. Dennis Wood, Josh Way in row 2. Getting ready to go back to green. Green flag in the air. Dennis Wood thought about the 3 wide. Bryant Smith hanging on to that race lead. Dennis Wood to the inside of Kuykendall for second. Caution on the speedway for Matt Gribble in the 13 in turn number 2. Ten laps to go. Smith and Wood. Dennis Wood around the outside to the race lead. Little contact from Bryant Smith, moving him up the racetrack. Wood to the lead. Josh Way around Kuykendall for third. Josh Way, Jeff Kuykendall in row number 2. Green flag back in the air. Caution with 5 to go. Dennis Wood, your race leader. Six laps to go. Dennis Wood, Josh Way. Way playing their games up front on the restarts. 6 laps to go. Wood and Way. Green flag in the air. Wood, Josh Way, Jeff Kuykendall, Brian Smith, Colt Locker. Laps to go for Dennis Wood, hanging on out front. Josh Way second, Kuykendall third. White flag for Dennis Wood. Final time into turn number 3. Your street stock champion of 2020 is a Fall Classic winner, Dennis Wood. Josh Way second, Kuykendall third. Great run by Brian Smith in fourth. The 101 of Billy Roberts in fifth. Greg Bernard Jr. in sixth. Colt Locker seventh. Lucas Ripley eighth. Bernie Minnick ninth. Kyler Bertram 10th. The sponsors on the 88 UFO, Canton Auto Salvage, Lee's Famous Recipe, Tony Newman Roofing, Nephews Painting, Macintosh Oil, Quality Lawn Care, and Automotive Electric. The sponsors on the 88. He had a heart attack in the race car while leading at Barberton. He thought he had a pinched nerve. He had a heart attack. He has a heart cath, gets a couple stents put in. Now he's in neck tuning victory lane once again at Midvale Speedway. Your 2020 Street Stock Champion and your Fall Classic winner, D. Wood, Dennis Wood. Tell me that guy ain't tough. You have a heart attack in the race car and just keep on going, take me to the hospital later. A couple weeks later in victory lane here at Midvale Speedway. Congratulations, D. Wood. The 24 of Nick Grubbs, the 66 of Lewis, the 49 of Bob Page, the 338 of Brandon France, the 75 of Bobby DeVore, the second, the 87 of Zach Leisure, the 69 is Bob Snyder Jr., Rick Sibla in the 02, the 13 is Kenny Feaster Jr., the 331 of Mike Stone, your champion, the 27 is Randy Gray, Kyle Finlayson in the 15, green flag in the air, the 09 is Wes Dennis, the 16 is Gerald Altizier, the 55 is John Kama, the 99 of Derek Rule, the 007 of DR3, one lap complete, the Rooster Brandon Bailey out front. Jerry DeVore in the second spot. The 09 of Philip Cox inside of the 24 of Nick Grubbs for third. Grubbs going to go to the outside of DeVore. Philip Cox tiptoeing, trying to get to the inside of Jerry DeVore. Brandon Bailey checking out in the 55. Cox now to the inside of the 4 of DeVore. Here comes the 38 of McClintock. McClintock inside of DeVore for the third spot. So Brandon Bailey with a big lead right now over Philip Cox. Kevin McClintock, Brandon France up to the 4th spot, DeVore back to 5th. Derek Gruhl spins in turn number 2, caution on the speedway. Of Nick Grubbs, the 49 of Bob Page, the 02 of Rick Sibla, the 66 of Lewis McGrath, and the 87 of Zach Leisure, your top 10. So Phil to get the getting ready to go green, 8 laps complete. Bailey and Cox, green flag in the air. Kevin McClintock to the inside of Philip Cox for second. Here comes Jerry DeVore for third. Philip Cox in that outside lane. Rooster continues to lead. Here comes Bob Page. Page will move up to third. Rick Sibla to fifth. Page to fourth. Bob Page around Jerry DeVore for the third spot. Here comes Rick Sibla. Page to third, Sibla to fourth, DeVore back to fifth, Philip Cox sixth, Brandon Bailey, your race leader, Kevin McClintock in second. 15 laps in, 15 to go, halfway for Brandon Bailey, and Philip Cox spins in turn number 4. Talk on the front row. Green flag back in the air. Bailey and McClintock. Kevin McClintock on the outside, and we got a caution in turn number 1. Brandon Bailey, Kevin McClintock on the front row, 14 laps complete, getting ready to go back to green. Green flag in the air. Brandon Bailey on the bottom, McClintock on the top. Halfway home, 15 in, 15 to go. Brandon Bailey, Kevin McClintock still battling for that race lead. McClintock on the outside, Bailey on the bottom. Bailey to the front. McClintock second. Here comes Rick Sibla and Bob Page. Battle for third. Oh, 16 laps complete. Bob Page was charged with the caution The 02 was all the way up to the door, so the 49 was charged with the caution. 16 laps complete. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. The 55 of Brandon Bailey, the 38 of Kevin McClintock. Green flag in the air. Caution for the 4 of Jerry DeVore in the junior. Getting ready to go green, Rooster and McClintock in turn 4. Green flag in the air. Rooster on the bottom, McClintock on the high side. Problems for Jerry DeVore in the 4th spot, slid up the racetrack. That allows Mike Stone to get around for 4th. And Rooster is going to clear McClintock for the race lead. Top break for Jerry DeVore. He'll pull pit side. Problems for that number 4 machine. Brandon Bailey, your race leader. Still all over the back of the 55 of Brandon Bailey. 5 laps to go next time around, 6 to go this time. The 24 of Nick Grubbs in the 3rd spot. Mike Stone 4th. Bob Snyder Jr. a good run in that 69 in 5th spot. Caution for the 75 of Bobby DeVore in turns 1 and 2. 26 laps complete. 4 to go. Stone, good run by the 69 of Bob Snyder Jr., the 09 of Wes Ennis, a good run. The 66 of McGrath, the 99 of Gruel, the 15 of Finlayson, the 87 of Leisure. Green flag back in the air. Rooster still hanging on out front. McClintock still fighting in that outside lane. Now slips off at turn number 2. Bailey gonna see the white flag. This time around, white flag for Brandon Bailey. Final time down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Brandon Bailey going to go to Knack Tuning victory lane. McClintock second. Grubbs third. Stone fourth. And Bob Snyder Jr., a great run in that 69, finishes 5th. Wes Ennis 6th. Zach Leisure 7th. Lewis McGrath 8th. Derek Gruhl 9th. Kyle Finlayson rounding out your top 10. Your Van Meter Auto Repair Crate Modifieds finishing up their 30-lap feature, the Rooster. Brandon Bailey will be in Knack Tuning victory lane. Bailey. Brandon Bailey back in victory lane here at Midvale Speedway. Congratulations to the Rooster. March alongside the number 100 of Chris Zink. The 01 is Hunter Corbett. The 5 is Tim Farrar. The 17 is Bobby Gaynor. The 63 is Zach Myers. The 7 is Clayton Paisley. The 32 is Justin Courtney. The 48 is Tony Barbucio. The 15 is Britt Van Meter. The 27 is Billy Hilliker. The 38 is Chad Wise. The 79 is Phil Bunton. The 64 is Drew Dillon. Getting ready to come into green, 15-lap compact B feature. Megan March, Chris Zink, green flag in the air. Hunter Corbett going to go to the outside, and Zink on the outside. Megan March going to hang on to that race lead off of turn number 2. Megan March into the front. Here comes Tim Farrar up the middle, 3 wide move, 3 wide back of the pack. Here comes Britt Van Meter on the outside. 3 wide on the front straightaway. Here comes heat race winner in the 63, Zach Myers up to 3rd. Tim Farrar running down the 24 of Megan March. Oh, Phil Bunton to the bottom, going to turn the 17 of Gaynor. Gaynor's going to keep it going. Billy Hilliker going to be slow off of turn number 2. Caution on the speedway for the 27 of Billy Hilliker off turn number 2. Bobby Gaynor and the 7 of laps complete of 15. Getting ready to go back to green. Megan March, Tim Farrar on the front row. wide. Megan March going to get up into the 5 of Farrar. Farrar going to be your race leader. Here comes Zach Myers in the 63. Myers to the bottom and Phil Bunton Jr. in the 79. Side by side for second behind Tim Farrar. 4 laps complete this time. Little hands to the infield. He'll stop on the back straightaway. Eighth, then Bobby Gaynor, Tony Barbucio, the 27 of Billy Hilliker and Chad Wise. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Zach Myers up to the 2nd spot. Britt Van Meter 3rd. Megan March 4th, and here comes Phil Bunton Jr. Here comes Zach Myers to the inside of Tim Farrar. For the race lead, Myers and Farrar. Is Van Meter going to make it 3 wide in turn number 1? Nope, thought better of it. Myers on the bottom. He'll go through to the race lead and bring Phil Bunton Jr. with him. Caution on the speedway. Back to green, 6 laps complete. Trailer race readying pit side. Green flag in the air. Myers and Farrar. Zach Myers, your race leader. Phil Bunton Jr. in the 2nd spot. Green flag back in the air off of turn number 4. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Coming to the halfway mark, Phil Bunton Jr. on the outside. And we're halfway home. So to all those weather people out there that sent me messages today and said it wasn't going to get in, we got the event in. Thank you. Good thing you don't get paid for the weather. Phil Bunton Jr., your race leader. Zach Myers back to the 2nd spot. Britt Van Meter 3rd. Justin Courtney in the 4th spot. 5th is Clayton Paisley. 6th, Chad Wise. So caution for the 01 of Hunter Corbett, who spins off of Zach Myers, looking for his first feature win here at Midvale Speedway. Britt Van Meter, two-time champion, looking to go back into victory lane. Green flag in the air, 5 to go. Phil Bunton Jr. continues to lead Zach Myers. So the 38 of Chad Wise goes to the Phil Bunton Jr., Zach Myers, Britt Van Meter, Justin Courtney. Green flag in the air. White flag for the 79 of Phil Bunton Jr. Checkered flag for the 79 of Phil Bunton Jr. Second, the 63 of Zach Myers. Third, the 27 of Billy Hilliker. Justin Courtney finishes in the 4th spot. And Britt Van Meter finishes 5th. So the compact features complete. We ran the entire racing program to completion. That should be a round of applause for our track officials and the infield track crew and the lineup guys and officials over on the other side. To John and Kelly Chapman, your track owners. So we got the entire racing program completed, which is an accomplishment. Thankfully, we were spot on with the radar and everything that we saw over the last couple of days. Decided to move the program early, and it worked. So trailer race getting ready to pull off now as Phil Bunton Jr. pulls in to victory lane. Lane for the first time in a compact. Former pure stock driver. Your winner, Phil Bunton Jr. Phil going to get the big Fall Classic trophy. Congratulations, Phil. Great job on the B feature victory here at the Fall Classic. Okay, so one parade lap, no hitting until we take the green. No hitting till we take the green. Marcus Archer, Hillary Smith up front. Rob Scott, Bryant Smith, row 2. Stephen Feaster, TJ Dreyer, Terry Hill, Kyle Finlayson, Dan Skaggs, Eric Feaster, Tim Fickus, Alex Brannon, Ted Dennison, Tim Dreyer, and Corey Fickus. Getting ready to go green. The destruction of the trailer race. The season ender for 2020. Last man standing, green flag is in the air. And there goes a trailer and a boat, and that one is out. They go to the infield. I believe that's Marcus Archer. Archer to the infield. Rob Scott out front. Now they try to protect the trailers. Could be Tyler Scott, but Rob Scott signed up also. So Kyle Finlayson being sent to the infield. He's got his trailer off to the side. Still got some machines out there trying to whittle our way down. Rob Scott still there. There's the 95 of Dan Skaggs. Taking a big hit to that trailer out there on that old truck. The D73 pulls to the infield, but I have no idea. Trying to get the 78 who is out with no trailer off the racetrack. Also the 73D. Big hit for the camper and boats on the front straightaway. That's the 178 of Feaster. Still out there. Rob Scott still out there in the 62. Now he gets hit from behind. You see why we have to run this race at the end of the season, the very last thing that we do, because it takes weeks, if not months, to clean up. This is the demise of Bill Ditto, having to clean this mess up at the end of the year. Tim Fickus in the 56 still out there. So a big gaggle on the back straightaway. Still a lot of trailers out there. Last man standing. Still got quite a few out there. Some without tires. Some with big tires. Oh, looks like the 12 might lose his going into turn number 1. He's lost his front wheel, but still hasn't lost the trailer, and now kind of catches the infield. That's the 12 of Corey Fickus. Trailer still hanging on. These drivers all warned that they are not allowed to weld, chain, or lock, or pin their trailers. They will be checked at the end of the race. And Rob Scott loses his trailer. The 62 is out. Coming to you, Terry. Black flag for Rob Scott. No trailer on the 62. He just decided to ramp the boat. And he's going to hit that boat and carry it into the pits. So at least Rob Scott going to go out in style, I guess. The 6 of Terry Hill out there in that old dually Ford truck, still with his attached. The 56 of Tim Fickus still out there. The 50 of Alex Brannon still out there as well. Who else we got out there? Looks like Hillary Smith in the 8 still there with no tire on her truck, but she's still going round and around. The 178 of Feaster. Oh, getting some action in turn 2 now. That old truck, the 6 of Terry Hill, trying to take that trailer off, but now he's in danger of losing his. $500 to the winner of this event. So they're all out there trying to do their best. What a mess. Hillary Smith still out there. I don't think she's touched anything the whole race. The 12 of Corey Fickus into turn number 1. And the 56, Tim Fickus. So got Hillary Smith. Also the 6 of Terry Hill and the 50 of Alex Brannon. Looks like those are the 5 that are still running. So sooner or later somebody's going to have to knock these trailers off, for Pete's sake. And there goes a trailer. That's Hillary Smith. She's out. Good job by the 12 right there of Corey Fickus to knock that trailer off. So we're down to 4. So your 4 left are up top. Fickus going to get into Hill's trailer. Can he knock it off? No. Hill keeps going. Fickus going to come back and hit it again. He knocked it off. The 6 is out. Terry Hill is out. That's how it's done in the trailer race. Nice job right there by the 12 of Corey Fickus. Corey Fickus, Tim Fickus, and Alex Brannon, the only 3 left. Here comes Brannon. Is he going to take that trailer off? He gets into it. Does it come off? Nope. He's going to get it again. Still not able to get it off, and that popped the radiator in that 50. That minivan ain't going to last much longer. The 2 Fickus is playing nice. Brandon wants to take the trailers off. Oh, there's the spin. Did the trailer come off? It didn't. No idea how it didn't come off, but it didn't. Give credit to Alex Brandon for trying to do what you're supposed to do. So the final 3 on the back straightaway. Everybody's kind of playing nice for some reason. The 2 Fickus is not even wanting to touch each other's trailer. The 56 of Tim Fickus behind Corey. Everybody's missing tires and everything else. Let's see if Tim's going to try and get that trailer. There, he tried to get it. Not enough speed. Brandon going to come up through in that minivan. He ain't afraid. Drive that minivan right up on that trailer. Here he goes. Look at this move. Oh, he just missed it. Big, hard hit up into the wall. Oh, and Brandon's going to lose a motor, I think, in the 50 as he gets drilled. Does his trailer come off? Nope. The 12 of Corey Fickus still trying to go after contact with the turn 1 wall. Brandon still trying to get that trailer off. Here we go. The Fickuses are together. Do the trailers come off? Nope. Still attached. Still there. Ah! Brandon gets into the back of the trailer. hard hit up there by Fickus into the wall. He's going to back up and try and keep going. Looks like the 50, that thing might be done. Looks like the 50 of Brandon, I think that thing finally gave up after that last hit. The 2 Fickus is still moving. The 56 of Tim Fickus on the front straightaway, Corey Fickus on the back straightaway. Hearing possible fire in turn 1. Hearing possible fire in turn 1. Red flag, Terry, red flag. Corey Fickus out of his machine. Tim Fickus going to be your winner. Tim, come on around. The 56 of Tim Fickus, the last one standing. Terry, the last check is to make sure the trailer is not locked, welded, chained, or pinned, and Tim Fickus will be crowned the winner of the 2020 trailer race and $500. Once again, thank you to everybody for coming out to Midvale Speedway in 2020. I know it's been a trying year on all of us, especially these local businesses like us here at Midvale Speedway. We hope that you get out this winter and support all the businesses that support us and support these race drivers and race teams throughout the winter. Please have a very safe and happy holiday season, and we will see you back here at Midvale Speedway in the spring, mask-free, hopefully COVID-free, and back to normal. Thank you. Be safe. Be careful. Have a good night. Congratulations to all the winners. We got the night complete and no rain. Is he good, Terry? And he's the winner. Your winner, Tim Fickus in the 56. How about a big round of applause? Tim Fickus.